that adorable or
Let's
what?
see her face.
Isn't she something? This is my first time.
Jerry asked me to say a few words before we start this off, and the idea is that once I say a few words, I'm going to hand the microphone to anyone who would like to share some thoughts, some stories about Ian. Feel free, nobody is looking and saying you're the best or the worst public speaker. Please get up and share your stories. I think it's the most important part of a celebration of life, because many of us actually don't know each other, and I think that we would learn a great deal from hearing your experiences and what you shared. So I'm going to start this off because I think that it's a really good way to do it. It's what I feel about Ian and Jerry. It's very simple. Dr. Seuss said, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened." We love you, Ian. We love you, Jerry.
There's a memory I was telling a couple of friends about earlier today, and my brother, being my brother, you know it's going down that road, my friend. You know, he's an amazing hydraulic tech engineer, all around do-it dude. He would work on these boats in Westport, and a lot of times he would get paid in crab. And he'd be like, last minute, "I'm coming out to the beach, we're having crab." So it was, you know, we knew you had to have beer for Papa, and Mom had to have, yes, Papa had beer. And you had to have newspaper. Mom had to have newspaper. She plastered it everywhere. If she could have, like, papered the floor, she would have done it, because we were a crew. So we're cracking crab, and these were beautiful. I mean, this was one of your better scores. It was. And we're cracking this crab, and, you know, everyone, we were like, "Oh, look at this." And we're like, "Yeah, that's awesome. Look at that. That's wonderful." My brother, he's like, "Yeah, I saved this one for me." And it was the biggest crab leg I think I'd ever laid an eye on. He cracks it. He's so proud of it. He opens it, and he's all, "Look at this, Papa." And Papa snatched it and ate it. You remember that? I thought he was going to give it back to you, but he ate it. And that was I think, our first foray into Papa's savagery. He did not play with the crab. So that's what I wanted to share, because I knew that would get you a laugh.
Jerry, I think you have to teach the young kids how to do this. But all the times that we were together with Jerry and Ian at Tom and Linda's house, usually, or ours, often Jerry would say, "Ian, use your inside voice." And I'll never forget that the rest of my life, Jerry. I love you, and I love how you loved Ian, as we all did.
I deliver mail, and I used to pass Ian on the bus every day, and we wave and smile at each other. I sure miss that. Love you, Jerry.
I met Ian a long time ago. I owned the Sandcastle Drive-In a long time ago, and I was in between vehicles. I needed to dial a ride, so I called, and Ian was the driver that came and showed up. And we were chatting on the way, and he was telling me how much he loved the Sandcastle Drive-In. He had no idea who I was. I really didn't have any idea who he was, but he was telling me how great it was, and I'm sucking it up as the owner, thinking this is great, you know. And so I never said a word to him about it. You know, he just told me how much he liked it, and I got off the bus, thanked him, and went on my merry little way. And you know, I went home and I'm telling my wife, I said, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe this." I said, "You know, this guy does this, and you know, and he tells me all this." So I got a couple coupons for him, and the next time I used the dial-a-ride, I gave him a couple coupons, and I told him who I was. And it was a funny story for both of us. And he used to frequently stop by and buy ice cream for everybody on his bus. He was a hell of a guy. He'll be missed. We love him.
Ian and I grew up together pretty much my teenage years up all the way through. He was basically my brother, not by blood, but by soul. We did everything together. We started out with a CB radio club back in the 70s. And we made quite a bit of money selling stuff to people. He was that way. He was that Scottish in him.
Yes.
From there to beer can collecting. We would go for miles just to pick up a beer can, something that was rare that he didn't have or I didn't have. And then it just went downhill from there. Church league basketball, he started a team. We all joined. Ian and I belonged to one church, and we just got whoever we could from anywhere else we could and joined a team. There was in Aberdeen. We played at the Natatorium, which was the Aberdeen Senior Center, which is now gone. Quite a few of the places. And that was always fun. We had a blast. Just different things like that that we did. And Ian was the coupon king.
Yes, he was.
He had a pocket full of coupons for everywhere. And one time Jerry told us the story about Dairy Queen. Her brother was here, his wife, and Ian, and this was when Ian was in town doing handicap service. And he went into Dairy Queen to get something. And the gals come up there, and Ian walked in, he goes, "You want your regular?" And the look on Jerry's face was priceless, like, "Your regular," which was a Blizzard. But Ian was that way. He's also the candy man out here. Every time a driver would pull up, he'd have a handful of candy to throw at him. And he was just special that way. Like I said, I've known him since I was a teenager. We just did everything together. We were inseparable. But I think he's going to be missed.
I knew Ian and Jerry before they ever went to work for transit, when they were training to be substitute school bus drivers for the North Beach School District. And I was one of the regular drivers for the North Beach School District. I'm also a ham operator, as Ian was. And one of the things that ham operators will say when they bid goodbye to the other operator that they happen to be talking to is they'll use a term that went back to the days when everybody used Morse code, and they'd say 73 and give their call sign. So, W7IAN, this is N7QIN 73. We'll see you later on down the log.
I've known Jerry for many years. It was through her that I got to know Ian. And Ian was a caring, loving man. That one of the best things that I will always remember is his sense of humor. He had a sense of humor that just put a smile on everybody's face. And I know that he's going to be surely missed. I know that he's up above there smiling down on everyone. He was just that type of man.
Hard for me to forget Ian and Jerry, even if I wanted to. How many of you have heard of or have been to Elephant Rock up on the Quinault Indian Reservation? Well, we used to go up there, and we even gave guided trips up there for a while for the Kiwanis auction. But I got the wild idea of commissioning Jerry to paint a painting of Elephant Rock for us. And we took Jerry and Ian up, and it was a very memorable experience. I think I didn't know Ian much before that. But the result of that is we've got a great big painting of Elephant Rock before the trunk fell off. And it's still with us, and it's a pride and joy for us. Thank you very much, Jerry, and thank you for your friendship.
He'd tell people to wait on the outside of the bus, and he'll come back and pick them up. You know, he never forgot anybody, but he loved everyone. You rode his bus, you're under the protection of the driver. But anyway, I love him, and I love Jerry.
So, I didn't see my grandpa that much. That's why I'm pointing out that I can't remember anything, because I don't really know. But when I did get to see them, they were usually really special. Like going to, Grammy, what's that one place when you, me, Paul, and Janie went? Quinault. Me, Grammy, and him went to the hotel. That's when I had that burger. The scary one. Fort Clatsop, yeah. And a lot of other places. Those are the ones I mostly remember. And those were really nice. I love those moments.
This is my latest great niece. And my niece and nephew have come up from Shelton, and I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for my children, and so was Ian. He loved family. And for those of you who transit, know, and for those of you who don't, every year at Christmas, he would take that week off, the week before Christmas, to help me cook and bake for the people out here that didn't have family, couldn't get out, wheelchair bound, lived alone, well under their means. So we'd spend a half of a year collecting and cooking and that week before, and then we'd sack up. And thanks to many people, many friends found out what we were up to and started donating things to us. And a couple of days before Christmas, I would drive, he'd make a list, and we'd go to everybody's house that was alone. And the looks on their faces when they would open the door and see him standing there, it was priceless. And he loved that so much. We started out with, I think 7 or 8 families, and we couldn't do it the last 2 years. But when we were done, we were 35 families deep. And I still think most of the people in the community that did step up and help out, I miss that. I worry about those people still. But I want to make sure that you know how grateful we are to our IGA family. They went above and beyond to take care of Ian and I. We have so much to be grateful for, but you know what they say, it takes a village, our village. They stepped up. Grace Harbor Transit, the employees, the members there, got us through some really tough times. I love every one of you. I haven't reached out. I haven't been able to do that in the last month. I'll do better. And to my family and friends, doesn't matter if I'm in the grocery store or I'm passing you in the car. You wave, you stop, you hug. Ian says, is there anybody you don't know? No. Well, maybe. But I am so grateful. The fact that you came today, that says it all right there. That says more than any card, anything you could have done, was that you came today. And even the babies, now I'll get to watch her grow. And he thanks you. I know he does. He was a very blessed man. And, you know, he stayed home. That's what he wanted. And so we talked about our neighbors, our family, and everything. And he didn't want a funeral. He didn't want a memorial. He wanted a barbecue. Now, I do have to say one thing to our son. Thank you for not making the famous Shrader burger, honey.
Oh my God.
The Shrader burger, oh dear. It was something. It was, suffice it to say, it was well done on the outside and extremely rare on traveled together, and he worried so much. He wanted me to stay close. I said, well, if I have to move in with them, I will. I mean, that's what it takes. But again, thank you so much. Now, Adam, our grandson, he's going to, wherever he is, he's going to come up here, and we have balloons. And did you see the boards on the back? There were markers there to write something on the board if you'd like. I want you to take a marker and find a balloon, although now I think we'll just have to have someone hold the cluster and write something, and then Adam's going to count down and we're going to let the balloons go. So if you'd like to write something on a balloon, go over there with the marker and write something, and then Adam will do his countdown. Okay, honey? Okay. Thank you, everybody. 2, 1, let him go.
Pull! Right into the tree. Mine's winning. How do you know?
No, mine's winning. Everything's like all the hunting with him. No, mine's winning.
Okay, real shot.
Mine's up there.